It's kind of strange. A couple days ago, I was feeling really down, really depressed because, you know, months and months and months of looking for a job and not finding one, combined with finding one and working for 2 months and barely making any money, completely shattered my self-confidence. To the point where a couple days ago I hit a low and I was literally thinking, like, the thought occurred to me, you know what? Maybe I am worthless. Maybe I just deserve to have cancer and die. Of course, I don't really believe that, but the thought did occur to me. And that made me realize, ooh, that is not a good sign. That is really not a fucking good sign. And that's when I realized that it was the last, I don't know, 5, 6 months of looking for a remote job and not being able to find one. And I've never had issues finding a job in the past because when it comes to, normal jobs where you physically go to the job and do it, not a problem, super easy. Remote jobs are harder to get, especially now after COVID. Kind of people are like, oh, wait, we can work remotely, we can travel and still work. This is really cool. So there's a lot more competition for it, and still a lot of companies are more old fashioned in the sense that either one, they don't allow you to work remotely, or two, they allow you to work remotely but you still need to physically be in the country in which you're working, which I find very, very, very dumb. Anyway, all that to say, I hit a low a couple days ago and I really didn't know what to do to get out of it, so I just kind of did what I could, which is not much. And what I ended up doing is, ironically, the day after that I felt the worst, I was in the park taking a walk. By the way, I'm in the park again, in case you were wondering. So, I was in the park taking a walk, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like running. I'd run 3 times in the last 6 months. Nah, more like 3 times in the last 9 months. And that was a couple weeks ago, before, I found out that there was masses in my lungs and that I potentially have cancer. And, I felt like I was done. The first time I ran like less than a kilometer, maybe like half a kilometer, almost threw up. Felt like I was dying. Second time, similar. Third time, also similar, although I didn't almost throw up that time, which was good. And then I got the news and I'm just like, yeah, okay, fuck that. Like, I used that as an excuse not to do anything. Physical, I mean, not to do anything physical. And yeah, in case you're wondering, yes, I'm eating grass. I like to eat grass. But like, I noticed that when I was running, even though I didn't run very far and after I felt like I was dying, I noticed that while I was running, it seemed easier to breathe. Like, of course it was hard to breathe because, I was super out of shape and lost all my muscle, hadn't done cardio in like a year and a half. But I was noticing that I wasn't coughing at all when I was running, and it seemed easier to breathe. So when I started, no, sorry, not yesterday, a couple days ago, when I started running, the day after I had that, realization of, oh shit, maybe I'm worthless and I should die. Not realization, more like a thought. Anyway, so the day after I was running and I'm like, all right, let's run a little more. Like, I feel like running. And I ran with a very specific intention in mind. And that intention was, every single time that I was exhausted, that my body felt like it wanted to give out, that I wanted to quit, that I wanted to stop running, I repeated this to myself: I will not let cancer defeat me. Now, I don't know if I have it. I still don't at this point. I'm still waiting for the results. But that thought of, if it is cancer, I'm done fucking using this as an excuse. I'm done using whatever seems right, whatever bullshit seems right as an excuse. Like, I can't let anything hold me back. And, that's one of the big revelations that I got from this entire experience. First of all, is, you have to experience every single moment that you have because you don't know how long you will have. And the other was this of like, you can't let excuses that aren't really excuses hold you back. Like, you come up with reasons of like, oh, maybe I have lung cancer, I probably shouldn't do any strenuous physical activity like running. That's fucking bullshit. Who said that? I don't fucking know. I didn't do the research. I was using that as an excuse, and I do that for a lot of things. So that was my intention when I ran that first day. Didn't run that much, run like 1.75 kilometers, but that was still more than I'd run in the last 9 months. Considering the fact that I was like super out of shape and I'm coughing all the time and everything, I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. And once again, during, like, it felt like my lungs were opening up. I was breathing better after, I did cough, but even though I was coughing, I felt like I was breathing better. Because I noticed lately in the last like week or two, by the time I got to the end of the day, I would have a little hard time breathing. Almost like, back when I was young and I had asthma, it was a similar feeling of like, I don't really have any issue breathing, but it's like, it's a little harder. And I'm like, and now after running that first day, I'm like, in the evening I felt normal. I felt great. Like I was still coughing, but breathing was not an issue. So, I was really motivated. So the second day I'm like, all right, let's do it again. And that time, instead of just, running one shot, I did two. So I ran one shot, another 1.75 kilometers, and then I ran another one back after that. Oh no, wait, that was the first day. Oh yeah, because I was talking to my girlfriend, and I'm like, hey, I just ran. And then she's like, oh, do you want to keep running? Like, do you want to call me back when you're home? And I'm like, fine, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I ran twice that first day. So like 1.75, I think, and like 1 point something. So I think I was around 3 kilometers that first day. And then second day, I'm like, all right, let's just go running. Like, I know my cardio's still crap. I'm not going to be able to run properly or for long distances. But I want to get back in the habit of running because it seems to be doing a lot of good for my body. So there is kind of an alternation between running until I kind of couldn't take it anymore, then walking for a while, then running, then walking. So I'd say I ran maybe 2/3, 3/4 of the time. So I probably ran around like 3.5, 4 kilometers, something like that. And then, took Monday off. So that was Saturday and Sunday. And then I took Monday off because I was starting to feel like, I don't want to push this. I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to like push so much that my muscles start to ache. And then I'm just like, I don't feel like running anymore. So I took a day off. And then today, Tuesday, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel like it today, but I want to do it. And just to push myself a little further, let's try to run a full 5 kilometers without stopping. Had no clue if I could do it so far. The most I'd run in 9 months was 1.75 kilometers without stopping. I'm like, you know what, let's try. So went to the park, and by the park I mean like basically like a mountain you run up and then you run down. So not the best when it comes to someone who's like so out of shape that I feel like I've never been this out of shape in my entire life. I don't know if it's just because I'm so out of shape and I lost all my muscle, or that plus whatever's in my lungs, but like I haven't felt this out of shape, I don't think, in my entire life. So anyway, started running, run, get to a kilometer. I'm feeling exhausted. I feel like I want to give up already, but I'm like, I already ran more than that before, so let's at least get to 2. That way, no matter what happens, it's a new record. So get to 2. Still feeling exhausted, still want to give up. Keep going. Get to 3. I'm like, cool. All right, so no matter what, this is a new record. And get to 4, so I'm like, all right, this is a new record in distance since I started running again. So let's just get to 5. So I kept going and got to 5. And as I was running before getting to the 5-point mark, I was like, ooh, what if I feel good and I keep running after 5? But by the 5-point mark, I'm just like, the second it got to 5, I'm like, nope, I'm walking now. I'm done. I could have kept pushing myself, but once again, like, I don't want to burn myself out. My goal is not to, to hit new milestones. My goal is really to get back in shape, to stop using whatever I have as an excuse to not be healthy anymore. So yeah, I still kind of have a little trouble breathing. Today was not the best. The first 2 days I was just like open up my lungs, breathing really well. I felt almost normal. Today, the entire time, like I felt kind of like raspy and out of breath, and definitely not the best. But I know that it's really making a huge difference. That and just being outside, being in nature, being in the park, surrounded by you know, nature and animals and people and the sun and everything, it feels really good. So yeah, that's kind of been my the last 4 or 5 days of my life. From, you know what, maybe I'm worthless, maybe I deserve to have cancer and die, to, you know what, I don't care, I'm not going to let whatever this is defeat me. So definitely feels good. But you know, I'm a very realistic person. I know that there are going to be ups. I know there are going to be downs. I know that I'm an up, and there are going to be more downs, and it's all part of the journey. And I still don't know how I'm going to react once I get the verdict, because I don't know what it is. If it is cancer, it's like, you know, I've kind of processed it and accepted. But there's a difference between accepting the fact that you may have it and accepting the fact that you do have it. And if it's not it, then, you know, honestly, I'll be kind of surprised, because given everything the doctors have told me, the odds of it not being are pretty slim. But yeah, I don't know, like, that's the thing. It's like, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how I will react when I get the news, because I have no idea. So that's kind of the update for today. I still need to walk like another 2-3 kilometers to get home. But now it's relaxed. I get to walk, I get to enjoy, look at nature, look at flowers and stuff. So the rest of the day should be good.